Hello everyone, this is a tutorial for using the AiDental RPD Designer and game. You can see here I'm on the AiDental.app website, and that'll take you to this screen right here. The first thing you'll do is you'll go ahead and log in. If you're part of my class, go ahead and log in here and use the credentials that we send you. And then you can go ahead and enter my class by clicking that blue button right there. And you'll see all those assigned cases that I've assigned to you. So for this tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and click that first case. When you go into the case, you'll be able to see those missing teeth here. So go ahead and click Next. And the first thing you'll do is you'll need to indicate which Kennedy classification this is. So I'm going to go ahead and make a choice here. And also select the major connector. So I'm going to choose this. And then I'm going to move forward. When you click Next, you'll be able to see a little green arrow that is next to this tooth right here, and that means that all the information that's on this side is representing what is going on with this abutment tooth right here. You'll also see those blue lines next to all of those abutment teeth, and that is an indication of how the survey line looks. So the closer that line gets to the tooth, that means the survey line is getting occlusal, it's more occlusal on the surface of that tooth here. And the more further away it is, that means it's more gingival. So right now there's a more pronounced undercut on that distal surface of the molar. You can also see that here. So the undercut surface buccal, it's on the buccal, and also it's more towards the distal. So this will be more of a class 1 survey line one away, right? And then retentive undercut is 0.01, no occlusal rest interference, no soft tissue undercut, and there is 3 millimeters or more of buccal vestibular depth, and no aesthetic concerns. So I'm going to go ahead and make a selection for my rest. You can indicate whether you want the rest to be mesial, distal, or both. I'm going to go with mesial for that one. And then from that drop down, you can make a choice for your clasp. I'm going to go ahead and choose CC clasp with a mesial rest here and click Next. You can make a choice for the clasp to go on that canine here. You can see that the survey line is now closer to the distal side, which is closer to the edentulous space, so that will be towards 2, like a class 2 survey line. So I'm going to go with a Mati for that one here. For the next two, I'm just going to go ahead and make random choices to show you how things look like when they go bad, when things are wrong. So here we go. And when I click Next, now you'll get to this screen where it tells me I've done 7 out of the 8 choices wrong. So I get 88%. This is the wrong part right there. You can see the model answer by clicking this button, and you can click on this button to see your answer. And now you can kind of appreciate what you've done wrong and what you've done right. And you also see all the tooth criteria for each of the abutments here, so you can use those for reference. So you can start over if you'd like, or you can go back to the cases and start another case. Or if you'd like to just experiment with making different designs, you can click on this button right here. And in this case, you'll see a screen with all the different teeth. You can click on them to indicate that they're missing. Or if you'd like something random, you could just create a random case by clicking that button, that red button right here. If you'd like to randomize a certain class, you can choose the class you'd like to randomize from the drop down. So for example, I'd like to randomize cases for class 1, so I'm going to select class 1. So every time I press this button, it's going to create a random case, but it's always going to be a class 1. So that's a neat kind of way to just narrow down on what you want to experiment with. So once you've found something that you'd like, you can go ahead and click Next, and it'll give you a proposal for a design, but you can fine-tune that by clicking Next here and making choices to indicate what criteria exist on this tooth. So you can see here I'm making all these different choices, and then in the end you can go ahead and, if you've got more than one feasible clasp, you could choose which one you'd like to display here by clicking on it. You can see how that changes as I click on the different clasps. Clicking next will get you to the next one. I'm going to go ahead and go through this real quick here. So sometimes no clasp works out, and then you'll see something like that here. Just for the purposes of this, I'm going to go ahead and make it so that there is a clasp possible here, and then I'll go next, and you'll see a summary of the acceptable clasps. You could create a PDF file from this if you wanted to share it or something, so you can print that out or send it to someone. So then you can go back to your start screen if you'd like and start over and do whatever you want. Now, there is a way to still do this without being registered in my class. Here, I'm going to log out, and this is how it looks like when you first get to the AiDental website. So you could choose the RPD Design button, and that'll take you to the exact screen you saw before, where you can create your own case and experiment with it. Or you could also go to the game and still create your random case right here. So and it'll act just like the other game, where you'd go here and you'll be able to choose whichever. Now the only difference here is that when you're out here, you could make a choice of which design philosophy you'd like this to follow. For my class here in Iowa, we're going to go with the hybrid philosophy. It takes a little bit of all of those and mixes them up. But if you're outside of Iowa and you'd like to try it, again, you could choose the different philosophy that you'd like to follow. There are also some reference slides, mainly for the hybrid theory here, but again, maybe it'll be useful for you. So I hope that was helpful, and let us know if you have any questions.